Welcome to Beyond the Chutes, as presented by Parasite Systems. Today is Friday, September 12th, and Sam, you and I are sitting in a great recording studio. We've been here before.
Yes, we have, and I still feel out of place.
Do you? What a beautiful leather couch you are sitting on. You going to be able to stay awake during this show?
You know, I'm waiting to hear your hours up.
Your hours up?
Sitting on the couch talking to your hours
you're
up.
You're gonna confess. You're gonna come clean. You're gonna feel better when this is all done. Well, I'm excited about that. So, we are here, of course, in St-Tite, Quebec, for Festival Western de Saint-Tite. This is our third year, Sam, that Vanessa and the crew has brought us up here. So excited to be here. You know what? This is the 57th annual year, this 2025.
Yeah, and I think I've been here 62 out of the 57 years.
Have you? You've been up here a whole bunch. And we want to say thank you to our hosts. Of course, Sylvain Bourgeois, the general director of the rodeo and Wild Time Production Rodeo Company. Great to see him last night. Great to have breakfast with him this morning.
Yeah, always good to see the guys and, meet some new people, but 90% of them we've seen for years, and it's been good.
You know, it has been years. You realize I met Sylvain, I think it was 1991, if I'm not mistaken. And did you know him before that? About that same time?
A little before that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He'd been west. He'd been riding big time out western Canada, and then he decides to come to the States.
Yeah, he started coming down, I would say, in probably the mid to late 80s, early 90s. And, we got to doing some things together and traveling a little bit together and went out Western Canada to buy broncs after I'd been in the rodeo business. And he knew a lot of people. And, we didn't get anything the first year we went out, but then we started picking some up. So it was good.
He is connected. These boys, and when I say boys, this next one is one of your proteges, Mr. BJ Prince, Rawhide Rodeo, Canada. Great to see BJ again, of course.
Yeah, BJ is BJ, and he's doing very well, and things are going really good for him, I think. He now works for Wrangler and runs the rodeo business, and he's got to be a busy man, let's put it that way.
Oh, my goodness. And he reps Boulay Boots as well. We saw the Boulay Boot Factory. Part of what started this whole festival, 1968. Do I have that right?
Yes, that's what they said last night, 1968.
Now, what a place to be, And Miss Vanessa Denis, Director of Communications here with the festival, she has just been delightful to work with.
Yeah, I didn't get here last year, so this is the first I've really met her, but seemed very accommodating and, got us set up and everything we need to do. Gave you a key to the city, and now Doug can go anywhere, do anything he wants to do.
I have got a key. I can come in here. If we wanted to record here this evening at, let's say, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, we can come do it. Now, I'm not saying we won't get arrested in the process, but I do have a key. We'd have some explaining to do, probably.
Well, those stories might be really good for this podcast.
You think so?
It might be some...
Get into the true crime portion of podcasting?
The St-Tite 3 in the morning stories. Could you imagine?
Oh, I think there'll be a lot of them out on the street that we can talk to at 3 o'clock in the morning. And, of course, Vanessa gave us the media pack and a lot of statistics. We've been pouring over it all morning, Sam. And the one thing that stood out for me in the 10-day attendance for 2024, do you realize it was 727? Let me say that again. There was almost 728,000 people here.
Yeah, and if you'd be in this small town, when I pulled it up for directions, knowing how to get here, but I was trying to go around Montreal, and it said population 3,800.
3,800, absolutely.
So it's like, okay, almost a million people, 750,000 people are in this town over the 10 days. And yeah, it's when you look out over the streets that they have to shut down because you can't drive the vehicles on them. It's just a sea of people, just people. And it's such a atmosphere of have fun atmosphere.
Absolutely.
It's not a, we are live in a world that's push and shove and get there, get it done, yeah. They are here to enjoy themselves, and that's all they do.
You bet.
You might be driving down the street and they're riding their horse in the middle of the road, and you get frustrated, and they just do.
They got the right of way, dude. Yeah. I'm sorry. You shouldn't be driving a car down these streets.
Yeah, well,
we did, didn't we? We did. Uh-huh. We did. But here was a fact that I pulled out of the book, and I'd heard some of this last year when we had Christian LaFrance on, right? Previous general director of the festival. The economic impact of this 10-day festival up here, which, of course, the rodeo was part of, and that's what brings us up here, was $45 million last year. $45 million in economic impact. Now, Christian told us that it was the second largest economic impact, only behind F1, the race down in Montreal.
Isn't that amazing? That's incredible. $45 million. And, I hate to date myself, but I'm going to. When I first came up here at 14 years old, it was 2 performances.
Yep.
Saturday afternoon and Sunday afternoon. And you were done and out of here.
Yep.
And the way it has grown, when I started bringing stock up, we switched to 3 or 4 performances, and it just kept getting bigger. And Sylvain was explaining to me like the Chutes were under the
stage.
Yeah, the
where
stage.
We sat last night.
Yeah. And he was explaining to me what they were going to do and how they're going to put them over there. And I thought, man, that'll be taking up a lot of seats. That doesn't make sense. But they did it in such a way that, it doesn't take up 100 seats, and away they go. It's just a fabulous rodeo facility, and more so for the spectators and the contestants. They're sitting right on the arena. Mud getting thrown on them. And it's crossfire. They buck into the other side, and the side that's looking down onto the bucking chutes. It's just a fabulous place to watch the event.
Oh, it's perfect. Seats about 7,500. Last year, in that 10-day period, I believe it was over 72,000 people watched the rodeo, bought tickets, and came and watched the rodeo. And that's pretty amazing. It's a purpose-built rodeo stadium.
Correct. Yeah. And it's set up for they do other events, but it is designed for the rodeo.
Yeah, you bet. Mm-hmm. And the grandstands are all covered. It's basically a big oval, right? And the arena, the dirt itself is not protected, meaning we had a bit of rain, and the arena was a bit wet last night.
Yeah, and they had a little rain, and it gets a little muddy, but they water that arena the whole time we're here.
Yeah.
It's a lot of sand, and they try to hold it together, and in between the events they'll come and work the arena, flatten it out. They don't dig it because they just flatten it with a big basic roller on the back of a tractor to drag behind. But it works good, and they have to do it between every event. And the crowd they play songs, and they get up and dance. And
one of my favorite parts. Isn't that crazy? Usually you kind of lose people when they're out dragging. There's not a lot to see, but they're dancing. And I kind of describe it as a rock concert where a rodeo breaks out.
When people ask me what's it like, I said, I can't explain it to you. I said, it is the Woodstock of Rodeo.
Oh, it's crazy. Absolutely, and it's wonderful. And I don't want to mislead anybody. They've got the family zone here. It's family friendly. It's a great place to bring the whole family. Great food, all kinds of entertainment. I read that they had 115 country western artists last year at this event.
And there's something for everyone.
Oh, absolutely.
Everyone.
Dancing?
do whatever you want.
Yeah.
There's a lot of young kids, people pushing strollers, but yet, if you want to go to one of these tents and drink and dance and have a good time, I guess you can.
Yeah. Well, we got a little bit of thinking about, speaking of such fun things, who we're going to get on the show. We got a bunch of names that are rolling around. We got keys to the studio, so whenever we're ready to go, say, again, 3 in the morning, that might be some of the best times to catch BJ and Sylvain because it gets busy up here.
Yeah, and it might be some of the best times to grab the winners and let them know what they really think.
Absolutely. And last year we got to meet, and I already mentioned it, Christian LaFrance, past chairman of the festival. He came on. What a great show. Saw him last night, had an opportunity to hang out with him. What a great gentleman.
Yeah, I just got to say hi to him, and I went back behind the buck and shoots. But yes, very, very personal and very business oriented. So, yeah, I know he used to be the past chairman, but he must still be involved in some way.
Oh, very much so. He's actually working the information booth. Everybody's connected. The whole community is connected to this. When you bring in almost 728,000 people, 500 volunteers, Sam, to make this thing run.
And that was going to be my next thing is, wow,
yeah,
how many volunteers?
Oh.
And they're out there at 7 this morning waving us around in traffic to get you around. They're out there, so they must be there all night long.
Oh, so. Absolutely. And professional.
Yep.
Right? They're marked, easy to identify. They got radios. They know exactly how to help traffic move and how to get you off the street.
And they will usher you out when.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I got ushered out behind the buck and shoots last night. Said I wasn't supposed to be there, so they
didn't have proper credentials.
I guess not. I thought I had to go anywhere past.
I thought so too.
Not get out of jail free card, I guess.
Yeah. Did they finally get you the proper go anywhere pass?
I don't know. I haven't tried it yet today.
Okay. But you were behind the buck and shoots. What was the vibe back there?
And I see why they need to have them there because it was very crowded. But the vibe here is not just behind the buck and shoots. It's everywhere. It's wide open.
Wide open.
I was going to say wide ass open, but it's wide open.
I think there aren't too many words big enough to really describe this place. But
the energy is amazing.
Yeah. And got to see Roger Lacasse. We recorded with him last year, the only cowboy from Quebec to be inducted into the Canadian Professional Rodeo Hall of Fame. He looks great. He was on the show last year. Great to catch up with Roger last night.
Yeah, Roger, I hadn't seen him in a couple years, but he does. He looks really good. He looks like he could straddle one right now and go to town.
Yeah.
Just an incredible athlete.
Yeah. And his son, Spur, he rode up here last year. I talked to Roger last night. He's injured, separated his sternum, did some rib damage, but sounds like he's going to be back. And it sounds like he's getting married.
Is that right?
Yeah. So
that's really great. I got a story about Spur when we went out west to buy bucking horses, and we stayed at Roger's house, and Spur came in the bedroom. He was about 3, and I speak English, and he spoke only French at that time because his parents were both French and French speaking. So in the house it was spoke French, and he went back to Roger and said, "He's awful big, but he's awful dumb." Because I would speak in English and he didn't understand it.
What you were saying.
So I was dumb.
Yeah.
So you know what I did?
What?
I bought a little kid's bull rope and sent it to Roger, instead of a bareback rig, and I sent him a bull rope.
There you go. And of course, last year we had Bradley Chance Hayes on the show. He's here this weekend. Hopefully we get a chance to see him. I know he's awfully busy in the Wrangler booth, and he's painting up here. Great rodeo cowboy, great rodeo artist. I saw something the other day. He's going to be in Sports Illustrated because he's made so many of these different circuit finals around the United States.
Is that right?
Yeah, in the PRCA.
That's good for Bradley.
Isn't that neat?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and what a cool guy. We hung out in Saratoga and just had a lot of fun when we recorded. And I met him up here, right? I met him right after he won the long round on Saturday, so he was just a hoot to talk to.
Yeah, he's a goer.
Yeah, man. Oh, man.
He's got his fingers into a little bit of everything.
You bet. Him and his dogs.
Quite an artist, too.
Quite an artist.
Quite an artist.
Quite the cowboy. Yeah, great episode we were able to put up. And then, speaking of episodes, we had breakfast this morning. We hung out last night with Dale Yerrigan, president of the IPRA, and of course he's associated with IPRA Canada. And we're going to get him on the show. We're going to get an update, find out what's going on in the IPRA. We know they had some rule changes, so we're going to talk about all that sort of stuff, Sam.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to speaking with Dale and finding out where they're headed and what direction. And it was good to see him last night. Really good.
Oh, absolutely. Looks great. And I talked to him during the steer rest and said, you don't want to crack back out there, you know? And his son Garrett out setting the world on fire. Of course, done Cheyenne, did the NFR Open, just been busy all over the world.
Yeah, Garrett's 2-time announcer of the year in the PRCA, so doesn't get much bigger than that.
And you were your organization, Rawhide Rodeo, was part of him getting his wheels on. He come up to Canada very young and worked for you guys up here, 1-2 summers?
Yeah, he worked for BJ a couple summers, and then as it went on, I had him hired for one down in the States, and he came down and did it, and they asked me to, he was trying to get his PRCA card. They wanted me to approve him or not approve him.
Yeah.
And I said, I can't do that. I said, I hired him. He's good enough, you know.
Why would we want him to move on?
Yeah. And so I said, I'm too busy. I can't be jotting down notes and all that. So they had my wife approved him for his PRCA card. Now he's 2-time announcer of the year in PRCA.
And becoming voice of the American, right? The big American rodeo.
Yep. He has always done his homework fantastic, very knowledgeable about everybody and anything, you know. He kind of reminds me of Aunt Gladys that sticks her head out the window and knows everything that's going on in the town.
Because, he's connected.
Yeah, he's been involved in it his whole life.
Yeah, and another of the Rawhide alumni that has gone out into the world big time, of course, Prince and James, and it is such a treat to come up here and see him and watch him entertain, and he does it all without talking. And what a reaction the crowd has to him.
You know, this summer, a guy said to me, he said, do you know how many guys you started and done well? And not, I'm thinking contestant-wise, you know, and there was a bunch. But then you think about Brenson and Garrett and other people have gone on to do so well.
You bet.
Brenson, of course, his father, Hollywood, brought him up in the business. We can't take claim, but we kind of, him and my boys, they did some acts together early on when they were 8 and 10 years old. It was a blast.
Yeah.
It was a blast. Seeing kids that took off and lived their dream from what we offered them is incredible.
And from the beginning of time, this has been his dream. We got to get him on the show. We're going to see if we can get connected with him while we're up here. I talked to him a number of times. He'll be on the show. It's just a matter of getting our schedules. You know, you've been so darn busy, Sam. Trying to get all the logistics of 3 people to sit in a studio is pretty crazy.
Yeah, can you imagine?
And, of course, we got a performance tonight, Friday night. We got 2 tomorrow. We got 1 tomorrow afternoon, 1 tomorrow night. Saturday, and then Sunday the final performance. And one of the original Rawhide Rodeo gang, talk about cowboys and entertainers that you started down the road, Raymond Hofstetter is going to be here, BTC, Beyond the Chutes sponsored rodeo cowboy.
Yeah, Raymond's coming in tonight. I really look forward to him. The horses last night were outstanding. I hope he draws something like that, and he needs to move to the next level. He rides fantastic, and I'm so looking forward to his weekend. I think he's going to have a great weekend.
You bet. Lots of money on the line. Lots of money.
Yeah, I might call Dale and get my saddle back.
Yeah, Breakout Sally.
Never happened.
Never happened. I don't know. Gordon Brown's still running down the road, dude.
Yeah, that's Gordon Brown. It ain't Sam.
And then we see Eli. We've asked where's Eli. We've discovered where Eli is.
Yeah, Eli called me yesterday, day before, and we talked for quite a while. And unbeknownst to me, because my boys don't call me, I guess, and let me know what happens, he said, I don't want to call you when I do bad. Well, I want to know whether you do good, bad, or otherwise, your family. And the horse flipped on him and broke some ribs and cracked his pelvis, and yeah, it looked...
We saw the video. I don't think flipped is the right description. I've never seen anything like it.
Well, the horse threw a fit. And
launched.
Yeah.
Feet completely off the ground. Didn't tip over backwards.
No, he threw himself
He
over.
threw himself. And Eli was right there. Of course, Eli's been riding for Beyond the Chutes this last 2 years, so get healthy, Eli.
Yeah, and Eli's a smart boy. He's not pushing it. He's going to take it easy. And, if you ever see a kid in a grocery store just throw himself down because he's mad, that's what that horse did.
That's what that horse did.
Yeah.
It's just a crazy video. And, of course, we talk about this great rodeo up here. Last year, over 450 rodeo cowboys and cowgirls, different contestants, came here, Sam.
Yeah, and this is not an easy place to get to.
Yeah.
And I would think more people from the States would come up. But since COVID, it has backed off quite a bit.
It has.
And it's just not an easy thing. And any big rodeos aren't easy.
Yeah. A lot of logistics.
They got their challenges. And this being such a small town has more challenges than any. But it's well worth it, folks, to either come sit in the stands and watch it or be a contestant, because it pays well. And you will not... I've been to quite a few rodeos. You will not go to any that has more energy and electricity than this one.
Absolutely. You're going to be on your feet during the Dragon, and you're going to be dancing. They're going to put you on the big screen. They got laser shows. They're projecting down onto the arena. The music is incredible, and the announcers. I'm going to see if we can get connected with the announcers, Sam.
And I'm sure we can. And the vision. The vision is what impresses me.
Yeah.
When they talk to me about it, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And I'm like, how are you going to do that? How are you going to do it? They do it.
You bet. You bet. And you want to talk about a tight show. I mean, it starts on time. They know exactly how long any aspect of that show is going to take. Sylvain definitely has put together a professional, top-notch crew that makes this whole thing happen. And up on that stage, there's a whole section. What are there, 15 people up there, all part of the production crew making it happen?
And before Sylvain came on, every year they would change rodeo directors.
Yeah.
So every year I'd come up, I was dealing with another person. And you were basically starting all over again.
Yeah.
Okay, well, why do you do that? How come you can't do that? And, you were getting down, and it just didn't. Now, it's been the same guy for probably 20-some years.
Yeah.
And you don't have to explain yourself. You know what's going on.
Yep.
You know how to handle your stock and who's going to take care of it.
Yep.
And it's good.
It's a well-oiled machine is what it is, and it runs like a sewing machine. I don't know if anything runs better than a sewing machine, but I would put this rodeo in that category.
Yeah, it is. The whole event is put together. When you look at the logistics of it, it's like, wow. And one little hiccup could change a lot, you know.
Yeah.
So
they've got their safeguards and their processes in place. I'm so incredibly impressed. I've been super impressed with Teton Ridge coming on too, dude. You realize last year they broadcasted all 10 rodeos on the Teton Ridge Plus platform?
I did not know that.
Okay, and it's going on 2025. So if you don't have that app, guys, get that app, Teton, Teton Ridge Platform Plus, it is called. And, of course, you can't talk about Teton Ridge without talking about the American Rodeo, Sam.
I'm so excited for what they're doing with this. You know, if you win this rodeo Sunday night, if you're the champion, you get to qualify directly into Lexington to the short go.
Yeah.
You don't have to go through any of the qualifiers,
Yep.
nothing. And I would think once the contestants really start seeing the advantages of that, there'll be more of them move up this way to come to this event.
Oh, absolutely.
If you win it, you bypass a whole lot of headaches.
Yep.
So,
Yep. And as you said, top 10, you'll be one of the 10 that makes it into the finals on Saturday night in Lexington, Kentucky. Now, I believe it's moved this year. I think last year it was February. I think this year they've moved it into April, Sam. Because I think they moved the American back about a month, too, Dale was telling me last night.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
I like that better.
Yeah. So we're going to see if we can we're definitely going to try to get with Lane Peterson. He's here. He's a rodeo judge. Also works for Teton Ridge. I'm going to see if we can't get him on here. You can pick his brain about this whole qualifying system because they're looking to build a bit of a different system. I was talking to Dale last night. He had some different thoughts. They're constantly kicking ideas around, of course, how to make the whole American, the qualifier, and everything better.
You know, and that's the difference between an association and a group.
Yeah, yes.
A group of investors like the PBR and the American, they can see what doesn't work and fix it.
Yep.
An association, you have so many wheels to jump through.
Yep.
It's so hard to get change.
Yep.
You know, you got to propose the rule. It's got to be out there so long and has to, you know, be voted on and all that. So it might take you 2 or 3 years to change a rule that should be changed in 5 minutes.
Absolutely. No, I agree. And being able to have that single focus, you know, they're focused on the American, just like this rodeo committee up here, Sylvain and the crew. They're focused on making this rodeo every night better than the night before.
And that's their job.
Yeah.
And that's their only job this week.
Yeah. And I don't know if you know this, Sam. We were in this statistics book that they handed out, and BTC is a international media guest. Did you know that?
I do now.
Yeah. Internet. I think. Yeah. And last year, and this was in the book. Okay, I read this in the book, so it's got to be true. Last year, I put up a small video. I think it was like 12 seconds long, Sam. 12 seconds long of the exchange race, which in the exchange race and the rescue race, they're some of my favorite events. I don't know why every rodeo doesn't have them, but we put that up. And would you believe that small 13-second video got 3.4 million views last year?
Isn't that amazing? That's simply amazing. And you know why they don't do it everywhere down in the States? Because we ain't all Frenchmen that just go out and let it all hang out all the time. It is a fan favorite, and the people love it, and it's something that 90% of the rodeo world will never see. It is. It's like any timed event. If it's not right, you're not placing. You know, everything's got to click and work, and it's good watching.
Good watching, man. Good watching. Anything else, Sam, before we say goodbye?
No, I think I'm looking forward to sitting down with some people and talking about the Festival Western and where the American and how it's going and where we're going to get to, and that just intrigues me. That, and for the people that don't know, the American, if you are not in the top 5 of the world of the PRCA and you win it, you win $1 million.
You win $1 million.
Or $1.1 million.
Crazy.
And, you know, that's it's a long shot, but there's been many long shots win it.
Oh, absolutely. And that's life-changing money is what that is, Sam.
And it has to be your turn because you have to draw right everywhere you go.
You bet.
Because the competition is so stiff.
You bet.
You know, when we were in Lexington, what'd we watch, 170 barrel racers?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you win this barrel race, you don't have to compete against those 170.
Right.
You go straight to the
Yep.
short go.
You got the ticket to get to the
Yep.
straight go. And I'm telling you, if you win this one up here with the competitors they have up here, you're gonna make noise when you get to Lexington.
Yeah, you're supposed to, but what happens if your horse stumbles or trip? That's why I say it. The stars have to be aligned to win the American, and even to get to AT&T Stadium. Absolutely. The stars have to be aligned.
So many rounds of qualifying and competition and semifinals and regionals, you name it. We're going to get that with Lane when we sit down with him.
And I may have spoken. I'm not sure if it's an AT&T Stadium anymore. It might be right at the baseball field now. I haven't been there. So,
okay.
Yeah, it used to be an AT&T Stadium, but I think they moved to where the Rangers play.
Oh, okay.
Right,
all right.
Right across the street. But,
yeah. Fort Worth?
Irving.
Which is the general Dallas-Fort Worth area, more or less?
South of Dallas. Yeah.
South of Dallas. Okay. All right, anything else, Sam, before we say good day on this first podcast from the 57th Annual Festival Western de Saint-Tite?
No, I'd just like to thank everybody for listening to us, and have a great day. Look forward to the week.
Absolutely. And you can find us on any place where you are streaming your podcasts. Subscribe, follow us, like us, send us comments, be our friend, do whatever it takes. Of course, we're on Facebook, BTC or Beyond the Chutes on Facebook. We've got the beyondthechutes.show, our website. Lots of things coming there. We've got that under development, constantly building. Until next time, Sam.
Bonjour.
This is Doug.
Thanks for calling.